Welcome back. It's Thursday, our weekly appointment with Stephen Carlton, first Vice President from Janney Montgomery Scott, also the newest man on Twitter.
Yes, it's exciting. I'm starting to get the hang of it, David.
What is your name on Twitter? Stephen
S. Carlton
S. Carlton
_ JMS.
Okay, for Janney Montgomery Scott.
Janney Montgomery Scott.
Check him out on Twitter for all the latest financial news.
Some great fun news in the last week. A lot of interesting things.
I'm glad that you're so excited about the Twitter. Hey, something we've been talking about recently is all these hotels opening in the Saratoga Springs area. One of the projects we've been talking about, the hotel on Congress Street, the Congress Street Plaza, if you're familiar with Saratoga, old Grand Union there, the CVS Pharmacy. One more vote. That hotel's a done deal.
You know, it's a great spot, and it's kind of pushing the city limits a little bit farther out into that part of town. I often stop at that CVS Pharmacy there. It's a great little spot, great little mall. This is a really good location. So they're one vote away, and I think it's going to turn out to be really nice if you've seen the pictures. Yeah,
we have some pictures. We can show them to you while I give you some of the details. Planning Board has approved the site plan for the 6-story hotel on Congress Street, 145 rooms going right where that Grand Union is. This hotel is being built by the folks at DCG Development. If that name's familiar, they're the ones that run the Clifton Park Center. It was formerly the Clifton Park Country Mall. Recently built that huge Hilton there.
Did a great job
with the Prime restaurant in the lobby there. So the latest hotel for Saratoga.
I just had dinner there a few weeks ago and did a great job.
Nice place?
Yeah, really nice.
All right. There's a Hilton there. So no name affiliation associated with this hotel yet.
Not yet.
But if it's going to be in downtown Saratoga, you know it's going to be something good.
Yeah.
That hotel comes as latest report shows that for the 8th straight month, hotel occupancy has actually fallen in the capital region. Now, unfortunately, we can't break these numbers down, but most of the hotels in the capital region, the vast majority in Albany and Saratoga counties, downtown Saratoga Springs, occupancy for the last month, 55.2%.
People were alarmed. Initially, when they saw this, they were thinking, you know, shouldn't the hotel be running at 75 or 80% capacity? That's not too far out of the range that's acceptable. It's a little lower than what they would like it to be, but the real measure is going to be as we go into this track season with all the upgrades of the city, all the things that are going on in the community. I'm really going to be much more interested to see what the next 3 months look like.
It would be interesting to see these numbers broken down a little further. Obviously, that wasn't available to us, but you got to think, you know, last week we were talking about the city center and the success with all the conferences they're having.
Absolutely.
Over the winter months, you know, that's understandable. Occupancy rates are lower. I'm guessing that in Saratoga, they're probably a little higher in the winter months because of the success of places like the city center.
The city center is an incredible draw for the community. The restaurants, like you said, the hotels, the tourist attraction there. I mean, the amount of foot traffic that goes down Broadway because of that building there is, without question, great spot.
All right, so we'll see check these numbers as we keep moving forward as these hotels start to go up. We've been also talking about this. There's a lot of follow-up tonight on things we've been talking about. Project Azalea.
Yes.
Looks like the azaleas are wilting in the garden. It sounded better when we did it in rehearsal.
We did it with an accent. Yes, I think that was why it really set it off.
I chickened out. Project Azalea was this massive project. Deloitte, is that how you pronounce it? Deloitte is
the Paris research.
Global consulting firm. They were scouting a site for an unnamed company. Of course, when we first started talking about this, we thought it was Apple because they were moving a lot of their operations for making TVs back to
a lot of rumors about the ITV
the
in
US.
Those
Yeah,
things.
they one of the sites they were looking at was in Malta, another in Utica. It looks like this may be going to Oregon.
Now, I just want to reassure people, sometimes these kinds of projects go really quiet. There's that in-between phase where they're doing the research, they're talking, there's a lot of politics behind the scene. So we're not out of the play yet. It's definitely been a little bit more quiet than we'd like to see because this was supposed to be decided on back in December of 2012. But I don't think we're out of the woods yet. And a lot of the players behind the scenes are saying, don't jump to any conclusions. We're still in the running. And like, you know, this project has the potential to be just as big as Global Foundries. So it's an exciting time. Keep your fingers crossed. We're still in the play.
Yeah, and we should give some credit to the Albany Business Review. A lot of these details on this, they've been doing some great reporting on this. A lot of the details coming from them that this project, multi-million-dollar project, actually multi-billion-dollar project, could have created 1,000 jobs. The good news is Global Foundries just hired a site manager, which is a sign that much talked about expansion at their Malta facility is moving
They're
forward.
very serious, and they've had some tremendous successes. So yeah, everybody in this community has to be excited about it.
Let's take a brief trip over the pond.
Yes.
The Queen is smiling today.
There she is.
You know, all I got to say, who doesn't like a smiling queen?
Yes.
Britain has...
They've got some good news, David.
Britain has given the slip to a triple dip recession. No smiling matter, as you can see. Elizabeth Royal is very happy that they have missed that.
This was all the austerity going on in Europe, David. You know, Spain, Greece, Portugal, and everything else. And England and Britain are doing the same sort of cutbacks, the same kind of austerity. They were expecting about a 0.1% increase. They got a 0.3%. So there's some good reason to be relieved on that.
You know, we're having a little bit of fun with this, but obviously it's good news for us because the United Kingdom, a trading partner with us here in the U.S., really bad news that they had slipped into a third recession.
No question. They are one of the leaders in the western part of Europe, and a lot of them are looking to see them come out of this. We need to see Germany, France, and Britain healthy economies for the U.S.
Still a tough road ahead for them, though.
Absolutely. They're not out of the woods yet by any means.
Okay. Back here across the pond, or if you're flying over to Europe at this point, sequestration, the cutbacks there, we're seeing, you know, the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, I'll get it right eventually, a lot of delays, reported 863 delays yesterday alone because of the fact that there's less staff checking, you know, less security staff, less staff in the airport towers, really helping things out there.
Well, David, when you go to the airport and, you know, if you're at LaGuardia or JFK or any of those major, you know, here, they're already extremely tight schedules, already extremely difficult. So a cutback of a few key people, and it can just run everything amok. And so this is going to be really important with sequester to make sure that we don't cut back things we don't need to. And I feel like there's more than enough areas where we could be cutting back that we don't need to cut back the air traffic controllers. I mean, that's probably not a spot you want to cut back too much on.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of talk about this because I know that the, you know, the IRS are going to be cutting back hours, but it's like a day every so many months. Right. And the last sentence is really interesting here, a result of weather and other factors. So they're playing taking a little bit of liberty with that.
A little bit, yeah. Usually 2,100 in that range are weather and other situations, but yeah, absolutely.
All right, as always, we appreciate you stopping by. Check him out on Twitter.
Yes, please.
You're looking for followers, right?
All the time. Yes.
All right, Stephen Carlson, First Vice President. I'll follow you later on, all right? And First Vice President Janny Montgomery-Scott, thank you, sir. And you can check out this segment again. We'll post it tonight at looktvonline.com.